Good morning. Today we are going to start our new lesson on electricity. So, in module 2, we have already finished unit 3, that is motion. It is over, and now the next unit is unit 4, electricity. So, this is the first class on the new chapter, electricity. Okay. Now, this concept of electricity has been known to us from even from the early days. For example, if you have a comb and while combing your hair, you might have noticed that small pieces of paper will stick onto your comb, or you might have also noticed another phenomenon, that is an inflated balloon when rubbed with the wool sticks to the wall. So all these are mainly exhibits the presence of electric charge, that is comb after combing attracts small pieces of paper or an inflated balloon rubbed with wool sticks to the wall. Okay, so that is when an inflated balloon is rubbed with wool, it will stick to the wall. So this actually the examples of this comb and all inflated balloon and all shows the presence of electric charge. Okay, so this phenomenon is also known from the natural processes like lightning, and also you may experience some shock with electrical fishes, and also lightning is nothing but the discharge of electricity, right? So this particular phenomenon, that is electricity, has been known to us even from the late 17th century. Now, a major breakthrough in this field was the identification of positive and negative charges by a scientist named Benjamin Franklin, and he was supposed to do an experiment called kite experiment, and it was mainly meant to extract electricity from clouds. And that was so this presence of positive and negative charges by identified by Benjamin Franklin was a milestone in this field of electricity. And another most significant experiment is the repulsion of charged rubber rod by another identical charged rubber rod. That is, if you have two identically charged rubber rods, they will repel each other. And the same rubber rod, when rubbed with a charged glass rod, attract each other. So that means this existence of positive and negative charges are there, and at the same time how they behave, that is like charges repel and unlike charges attract. So all these concepts were made clear from all these simple experiments. So another one is that during winter season, people living in cold countries, they will wear woolen clothes or jackets, and then they when they walk, this jacket will get rubbed with their body, and so this rubbing process results in the building up of electric charge in their body. So when such people, when they touch any metal objects, what happens, the charge that is accumulated in their body will flow from their body to that metal object, because that metal object is a conductor. So this particular example has got two parts. First one, what is it, the building up of charge in the body due to the rubbing of jacket with their body. So that building up of charges in the body is called by the name static electricity. So, and the other one is that when they touch a metal object or a conductor, what happens, the charges that is accumulated in their body will flow from their body to that metal object or to that conductor. That is the second part, that is flow of charges from body to the conductor in contact, and that is called current. So electricity is nothing but a physical phenomena associated with the presence and motion of electric charge. That is, first there is building up of charge in the body, that is static electricity. The other one is a flow of charge from body to the conductor in contact, that is current. Okay, so here you have come across two terms, static electricity, current, and electricity. Okay, next is about a voltage and current. What are the definitions? That is, voltage is a difference in electric potential between 2 points. And what is electric potential? An electric potential at any particular point is nothing but amount of work needed to move a unit positive charge from a reference point to that particular point against electric field without producing acceleration. So that is nothing but the amount of work that we have to do in order to move a unit positive charge from a reference point to a particular point in the electric field without producing any acceleration. So considering that concept, we can give a new definition for voltage. That is, voltage can also be defined as work needed per unit energy per unit of charge to move a test charge between 2 points. SI unit of voltage is volt, capital letter V. Instrument used to measure voltage is voltmeter, and remember that voltmeter is always connected in parallel in the circuit. Okay, so these are very simple definitions. So you can study the definitions for voltage, what is electric potential and its unit, and how a voltmeter is connected. Okay, then electric current, it is the rate at which electric charge flows through a conductor. If delta q is the amount of charge flowing in a time interval delta t, then current is given by I is equal to delta q by delta t. So that is, current is nothing but rate of flow of charge. Okay, that is delta q. Delta q is the charge and delta t is the time. Okay, now SI unit of current is ampere. Instrument used to measure current is ammeter. Remember, ammeter is always connected series to the circuit. What about voltmeter? It is connected parallel to the circuit, whereas ammeter is connected always in series in the circuit. Okay. Now, we have got so many conductors like copper, aluminum and all, and in that the current flow is mainly due to the flow of negatively charged particles called electrons. Here you can see a circuit diagram. Here you have a resistance R, a voltmeter V and ammeter A, and also a battery. See, this, the function of voltmeter is to measure the potential difference across the ends of the resistance R, and ammeter actually measures the current through R. Note here that voltmeter is connected parallel to R, whereas ammeter is connected in series with R. Okay, here you have to study the definitions of voltage and current. Next is Ohm's law, which is very quite familiar with to you. Ohm's law states that current through a conductor between 2 points is directly proportional to voltage across the 2 points, given by I proportional to V, or I is equal to V by R, where R is called constant of proportionality and it is nothing but resistance defined as ratio of voltage V to current I. Okay, now a good conductor will have low resistance. When resistance is low, more and more electrons can flow, that is, more and more current flow is possible, and hence the material becomes a good conductor. So a good conductor of electricity will always have lower resistance. Now there are another type called superconductors. What are they? Substances which have zero resistance below a certain temperature, that is, below a particular temperature this particular substance will have zero resistance, that is, they will not have any resistance. Such materials are called superconductors. Now silver is the best conductor, followed by copper, gold and aluminium. And for electrical power transmission over long distances, we use aluminium instead of copper because aluminium is cheap compared to copper. However, copper is used inside the building. For wiring and all inside the building, we use copper wire because to minimize power loss. Now, we know that metals have positive temperature coefficient of resistance, means for a metal resistance increases with increase in temperature, that is called positive temperature coefficient of resistance, positive TCR. Okay, this principle is used in incandescent lamps. In incandescent lamp, the filament used is tungsten, and tungsten has got high resistance and hence current flow through the filament. It will get heated up. So when it get heated up, temperature rises, and this again increases the resistance, and this again increases the temperature, and this heating process continues. Tungsten has got high melting point and it can be safely heated up to a high temperature of about 2800 degrees Celsius, thereby emitting white light. And we know pure water is a poor conductor, but when we add salt to it, it will increase its conductivity, that is, it will become conductor. Last session is electrical energy and power. Energy is defined as capacity of doing work. There are various types of energy like light energy, mechanical energy and all. Here law of conservation of energy is obeyed, that is, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Now to understand the concept of electrical energy, let us consider a conductor carrying a current I when a potential difference V is applied across two ends. You have a conductor, you are applying a potential difference V across it, then naturally there will be a current flow I, and now this charge will be given as delta Q equal to I delta T. Why? Because we know current is I is equal to delta Q by delta T. So naturally delta Q will be I delta T. Okay, then since all materials have some resistance, we know every material has some resistance, so naturally there will be a resistance to the current flow, or there will be a resistance to the flow of electrons, and as a result some electron energy will be lost due to collision with the atoms of the conductor, and this energy that is lost will appear as heat. Therefore, the more the resistance, the more the heat produced, and less will be the electron energy. The work done in moving the charge delta Q across potential difference V is given by V delta Q. Now, according to conservation of energy, heat produced is given by delta W, and it is equal to work done, it is given by delta W is equal to V delta Q, that is again equal to V delta Q. Instead of delta Q, we can write I delta T, as I already told. Then the energy dissipated or consumed by an electrical device per unit time is called electrical power. So here you get one more definition. What is electrical power? It is given by P is equal to delta W by delta T, and that is VI. But according to Ohm's law, we know V equal to IR. Hence, we can write power again as VI. In place of V, we can write IR. So P equal to VI becomes I square R. And unit of SI unit of power is watt, capital W. 1 watt is the rate at which electrical work is performed when a current of 1 ampere flows across electrical potential difference of 1 volt. That is the definition for power. So I am not explaining it more because all these topics you have already studied in your lower classes like 12th and all. So it just the basics, you can go through it, but here give more importance to this definitions, that is what is voltage, then what give its expressions, its unit, that is voltage, current, then electrical energy, then what about power, then the explanations for Ohm's law, and also please go through it. I will upload the notes also along with it. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you.